can tell me something good. I've heard Clint give some of these talks a few times, and so about 3 months ago, 4 months ago now, whenever it was, I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to try something. We have the departments I work with, we meet every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Immediately following that at 10, we have an executive management meeting. So instead of the normal meetings, I made up my mind about 4 months ago, we're going to start our meetings with Tell Me Something Good. Now, I'll be honest, I was a little embarrassed to do this. You don't know the truth. We sat down and I said, okay, we're going to try something different. Just got back from the chairman retreat. Clint was talking about we need to start positive, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go around the room, you're going to tell us something good. Personal, work-related, doesn't matter, which is part of what Clint's always talking about doing. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. The whole atmosphere of these meetings have changed. My attitude has changed going into my next meeting as well. It works. Changing the culture. Thank you, Clint. It does work all the way around. Talking about the generational differences, a few years ago, our executive committee, and I'm going to use their words, they looked around and said, our volunteer base, we're pretty gray-headed. And we started looking at the age breakdown of our volunteers and committees. Guess what we were? So they put together an initiative. It's called the Young People's Initiative. Nothing very fancy. Young People's Initiative. Out of our committees that we have in San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, each committee had to supply 2 volunteers under the age of 35. Whether you were on the livestock committee, the souvenir committee, the hospitality, it didn't matter. This is an ad hoc group. They meet once a month, started coming with ideas. Not only how do we reach out to new volunteers, but then how do we keep them? How do we build those relationships? So, folks, I got to tell you, this has been extremely effective. It's been going on now for 4, 5, 6 years now. But the challenge for all of us, the challenge for me, the challenge for Clint, we're both Generation Xers even, was, you're really going to do that? Well, no, we had to let them go out and do it. Whether it was recruiting folks, some of their ideas, some of their concepts, they're not a formal committee. They're an ad hoc group. They meet once a month. They even develop recruiting posters. They develop different networking things for each other. Guess what? Over the last 6 months of our new volunteer applications, almost 50% of them are coming from people that are 35 years of age or younger. So it is working. So that is something to think about. Let them get together. Let those younger folks get together to figure out how to go out and get the younger folks. But then when they come up with some ideas, you need to try some of them, because it does work. That's been one thing that's been very effective for us. Just a couple of other things as we're talking about it. One of the things that we've done is our new chairman orientation leadership training. It's held over 3 different days. First day they come in for 4 hours. Here's a new chairman. We have all these rules and regulations and policies and all of those kinds of things. Well, we give them a crash course, 4 hours, their chairman's manual of how to go about doing things, whether it's setting a meeting, how to get their badges ordered, how to do this or that. Then after that, we do leadership training. Clint does the majority of our leadership training. But all I'm saying is something that we can all do as committees, that is, you're putting someone in a leadership role, let's help them. Whether it is how to run a meeting, whether it is just enough information that we have regarding our own organizations. Make sure your volunteers are informed. That sounds so simple, but our volunteers are proud of what we do. I don't care which committee you're from, I don't care what your proceeds are, I don't care what your reasoning is for having your rodeo. They want to carry that mission and that vision, and they want to carry that out into the public. They want to be able to go out there and say, I'm with this ex-rodeo, and we raised $7,000 for the hospital down the street. But they need to know what that $7,000 is. They need to know that number. They need to know what it's going for. So be sure that you find tools to get the information out to them. So that's kind of about all I have. Would love if you have any questions for Clint. Clint, again, thank you very much. Really appreciate your talent and your resources, not only from San Antonio, but for coming and working with these wonderful PRCA committees. Are there any questions or comments?
Can you get the slideshow? We can put together a PDF document. In fact, if you, before you leave, if you'll put a business card up here on this table right here, I'll be more than happy to put together a PDF that will provide you the information that's in that PowerPoint today. I'd be more than happy to do that for you. Absolutely. Any questions, comments, thoughts, observations, agreement, disagreement, anything? You guys are awesome. God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll take a break and then come back and have a